Have you ever sat and watched your friend or a streamer play a game and thought that, damn, they are really good at this game. I wonder if they could get paid for this like an NFL player would get paid for playing football? Well, that's what I'm here to discuss today. Could gamers be considered an athlete like traditional football and or basketball players? My first argument that I can propose for the reason the gamers should be considered athletes is that the amount of work gamers put into practicing their game. In Seth E's Virtually Athlete, he defines a sport through 5 different check marks. One of these check marks is skill. In sports, if the team is winning not due to flukes or luck, but instead due to how well they played that game compared to others, it is considered a sport. This can be checked by looking at shooting games. The consistency of gamers and their aim cannot be attributed to luck due to the fact that their statistics are very in line with other athletes of ball-based sports in that they are both very high and consistent with their skill level. This could attribute them to being as skillful to their real-life opposites who play ball sports. Two other check marks that games need to pass to be considered a sport is if they are organized and have competitions. I can answer both of these at the same time by bringing up gaming events and tournaments. Coming from the EWSC in 2015, to be organized, there needs to be a set of rules that players follow, and for competition, there needs to be one event in which there are competitors and they can either win or lose. The Riot Valorant First Strike tournament happened 2 weeks ago and was a tournament in which 64 teams competed in a two-side bracket system. This is considered a tournament. Teams had to win by beating the other team on 2 different maps, winning 13 rounds on those maps with 5 minutes per round. This would be considered an organized rule set. The last two checkmarks are synonymous with each other and they are play and physicality. Players of the game play it, as described in the Oxford Dictionary. Simple as that. But in order to play it at a professional athlete level, players must have the physical motor functions in order to operate the game at such a level. StarCraft 2, one of the earliest and biggest esports ever, players operate their mouse and keyboard to a level in which they perform up to 800 actions per minute just from their hands. Another way that we can identify gamers as athletes is that they have agents and are paid like traditional athletes. ESPN esports writer Tyler Erzberger reported this year that League of Legends team TSM had its biggest signing ever by signing player Hu Sorar Shoshe for $6 million US for 2 years. Compared to the average contract salary of a professional NFL player, which is around $900,000, this is showing that the competitive esports scene is expanding rapidly, and that the legitimacy of their pay should be considered to the pay of a legitimate pro ball playing athlete. The last thing that I can talk about is how America already views professional gamers as athletes, and that it would be wise for other countries to follow, as the benefits from allowing athlete status for these players would bring more benefit than negative to their respective region. One of these benefits is that players, when considered athletes, can get visas. And with visas, you can go around the world and play in competitions. This competition, if won by your respective team, would bring both reputation to the team and the country. Now, this is beneficial in 2 ways. One of the ways is that the reputation would bring more economy to merchandise selling. And more merchandise selling is more economy within that respective region. The other benefit that you could have is tourism. Tourism would most likely be boosted by people that either come to watch these tournaments or to watch these professional athletes play in their respective area. As in, they can watch them practice, or they can come and watch where they practice at and how they could learn to be just like them. And for these reasons listed above, I believe that professional video game players could and should be considered athletes around the world.